Sooner Scoop HD.
About the way that this offensive line and you stand here less than a week before the season.
We've done a great job of getting together. We watch film every day before class and all that stuff, and the guys have done a really good job of accepting me and allowing me to help lead the line and lead the meetings and stuff like that. So I think we're going to be the most prepared unit out there. Just from what we've been doing in the weekends, we were there Saturday and Sunday. I mean, we're going to know what they're going to do just because of how the preparation that we're putting in. So,
you became a leader almost the day you came here. The other guys have said, is that a natural thing for you?
I just think the guys in this group were really willing to accept me, whereas other places it would be a little harder. But their attitude towards me allowed me to put myself in that situation, whereas other places they would have had the top dog and this transfer, whatever. But these guys weren't like that, and I really appreciate that.
Is it easier for you to settle into that leadership role in this preseason camp versus even in the spring?
Honestly, in the spring, I was surprised with how I did that. Looking back, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. I kind of came in there and did that thing, but I think I've settled into it, and my experience. This is going to be coming on 29th. Straight start on Saturday, so I think my experience has helped me with that.
How key has that experience been to just your comfort in the situation that you're in?
Yeah, I think it's just all about playing on the fly, especially with this offense we're running. That's pretty much what it's about. And that game experience, defenses can only change so much, from game to game.
Sure.
So it just becomes part of being a football player. If the defense is going to slant, someone's going to come off the edge, right? So that's just kind of how defenses work, and that's what 30 games of experience has brought me.
Even though you guys haven't played as a unit, the five that you guys will go out there on Saturday, you guys have played a lot of football. Individually, all five of you guys have played a ton.
Yeah, all five of us have played a lot of ball, individually, and then as a group, it's been about I wouldn't say we've been playing football for 8 months, but
Sure.
we've been doing stuff together for the past 8 months, and that's maybe a season and a half worth of games and stuff that you could potentially be playing.
How good do you think you guys can be? I mean, all of you have played some ball, so how much have you come together, and how good can you be?
Well, I think that we're teeing ourselves up to become a very dominant group. Collectively, just like you guys have been saying, all the experience and the physicality that we bring. We're going to do some good things. We're going to do some special things this season. That's what I got to say.
Jeff likes to run the ball late in the game. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, 4-minute offense late in the game. Finish the game out with the ball in our hands. I'm really excited for that. That's just kind of part of the dominating factor that you can do. And that just kind of sends a message to that just sends a message to everybody out there that that's what we are going to do as a group. We will be flashy and pass the ball or whatever. But at the end of the day, we have the ability to run the ball like that.
Seems like that's the number one thing that Jeff talks about is just physicality. Is there only one way that you can go about kind of showing that, and that's on Saturdays when the whistle blows? Yeah,
I think the speed of our offense, we're doing a good job of having speed, but at the same time, because we're, Schmitty's got us in great shape, and, sure. Being able to be physical at that speed, which is going to be great, when other teams are tired. We're going to run them out of the gym with the way that we're playing.
Where else have you maybe surprised yourself? You said you talked about leadership. You look back and said, wow, I can't believe I did that so easy. Was there anywhere else that surprised you since you've been here?
I have, my mental toughness I've surprised myself with how mentally tough I am with some of the stuff that we've been doing. We're running however many sprints, 20-something sprints, right? Never have I done that in my life. But there's something about, breaking that inhibitor in your brain that has happened here where you just keep going. And it's we're done. But honestly, you feel okay, I could run 10 more of those. But I've surprised myself in the conditioning aspect and, the mental strength that we have all, shown in the offseason.
Is that kind of Schmitty?
Do you know where that comes from?
Well, for me or?
For you.
Oh, for me, I think it's.
You hadn't done it before, you said.
Right. I haven't done it before. I think it was instilled with, the way I was raised, my mom, instead of, grounding me or whatever, I was running laps around the neighborhood, right? And Schmitty has brought that out of me. I didn't know it was there, but he has brought that out of me, the discipline and the mental toughness.
What is it about Jerry and what he does with you guys? I mean, this was your first experience with him throughout the summer, and then obviously into now. It just seems like that's his big deal with, especially offensive linemen, is finding a mental strength with you guys.
Right. Yeah, I think that was one of the main things that we started. One of the main things that he wanted to instill in us at the beginning, and we all bought into it, and that's that's how we're going to roll, and that's how we're going to beat teams by. I'm not going to put any numbers out there, but.
Wait, so your mom made you run laps?
Yeah, so growing up, before I played football season, it was 2 laps every day right after school. And then if I got in trouble, she would add laps, right? I think I got 6 laps one day. It was freaking awful. But
what did you do that day?
I think I was beating up my brother or something. Just something stupid. But yeah, I mean, I grew up like that. It's like, okay. Then I learned that she wasn't really punishing me. She was making me better. And goes back to Smitty. Like, I know he's not punishing us. Like, this is going to help us. Especially with the offense that we're running. Like, this is going to help us. So.
Were you thinking about that when you're doing that stuff?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I was calling Mom like, oh, my gosh, Mom. Like, yeah, you never made me run this much, but I'm glad that you made me do that stuff because now I don't even think about it. She gave me kind of like the work ethic, I guess.
What's your thoughts on UTEP?
My thoughts on UTEP. I think that they're an experienced D-line that they have, pretty big guys. They've done a lot of good things to help cover up some of the movement and stuff that they were doing last season. But when we were watching the North Texas game, they've covered up some of that stuff that we were using to trigger. So, but I think we're still doing a good job of, finding that kind of stuff out. So.
Well, you still to the laps. I mean, was your mom an athlete? Where did that come from with her?
My entire family's athletes. Everyone. My uncle played for the Bears for 8 years. My dad played A&M. My uncles played linebacker. Grandpa was wide receiver. I think it wasn't an option. You were going to play. And I mean, I love the game, right? But, I mean, you were going to play, and my mom was going to do everything that she could to make sure that was going to be the best I could be. So, and yeah, she was an athlete. I mean, she claimed she was, gave all of us our athleticism, not my dad, that sort of thing. But
I wanted to ask you about Andrew. He had that ankle thing going on in the spring, but how has he kind of taken over at that center spot and set the tone for you guys as a group being the center?
Andrew, I mean, I would claim Andrew as one of my really good friends that I've gotten to know. And playing next to him, he's really physical and he's really smart. So that is also a good thing. Both of us, we have, a certain, a certain intelligence about the game. And playing next to each other, we can see stuff that other people can't. So I think it's just a really good thing that we have going.
What kind of progress have you seen from Wanya for us, both from the spring until now and throughout this camp?
I think Wanya's doing a really good job with his technique and his hands. He's working on his hands a lot, and his pass setting has gotten a lot better. I think he's gonna be a really good piece at right tackle that we're gonna have. So.
Face paint still go. Go ahead.
Good. No, I was just saying, was he pretty excited to earn that role?
Oh yeah, no, I think he's definitely excited to have that role, and I think we're excited to have him there too because I mean he had a lot of experience in Tennessee also, so yeah.
Sooner Scoop HD.